Anyway, let's get started. So I wanted to at least share a little bit about my background, which kind of shapes my experience walking in a new place after having worked here for 26 years. So we had about 1,200 staff and 400,000 members worldwide. And I worked in a lot of different areas. I worked with our board, strategic planning, government affairs. I'll just kind of run through them because the most important one is this last one, which is entrepreneurship. I spent a lot of years working with entrepreneurship, and I also work with our members who were entrepreneurs, and we spoke about advocacy up on the Hill and other aspects of entrepreneurs, but we really tried bringing that entrepreneurial spirit within our own staff. So I'll speak a little more about that. So where I am now, you heard I work with American Public Works. I also am the executive director of the Canadian Public Works. We don't actually have an office up there, but we have about 3,000 members in Canada. And we've got nearly 60 staff. We also have an office in Washington, have staff there that handles advocacy. But why are we here? A lot of people say public works. Why are you even here? But as it happens, about 68% of our members are actually civil engineers. And so we work with public and private sectors. So what do we actually work on? Much like all of you, we have education programs, credentialing. We have, as was mentioned, we have 63 chapters. We also have 95 branches within that. So we have a wide span around North America. As I mentioned, we handle advocacy in Washington on public works and infrastructure. And we run 2 large conferences a year, which I'll speak briefly about later. And at those conferences, we also have a lot of education. So when I walked in, I wasn't planning on making any change at all. And this was a year ago. And I spent my first month asking a lot of questions, really. But why would one want to make change? And we heard it earlier. It's a lot about competition. What else is happening out there? We're no longer the place that our members go to for resources and info. There's a lot of stuff on the internet, and there's also for-profit entities providing the same things we are. Now, I had the luxury of being a new executive director because you have about a year honeymoon period, and I was also able to ask a lot of questions of board members and of staff members as well. And there's this quote here, change is messy, but after you make your way through it, it's really beautiful. So we're right now in the process of implementing that. So here was a common response I would have. That's always the way we've done it. Has anyone heard that one at work? Nods. The other one was, I don't know, that was before my time. Heard it constantly. You have to have patience when you hear those responses. This other one, I don't know. Back in 1963, we took some board action. There's a board member named Harry. I'm not exactly sure why, but it's okay. Well, we haven't had any problems yet. What's the problem now? Why are you even asking me this question? And then we're still making good revenue in X and Y. Why should we alter anything? So these were really enlightening. And what I knew is that we really had to make change. But you don't want to blow things up right away. And actually, in my final round of interviews, one of the board members, keep in mind they are engineers, but they also work with people who are sweeping streets and garbage haulers, so they can move in both worlds. And one board member said, if we hire you, are you willing to blow things up? He didn't use the word things. It starts with an S, an H, and an I, you know. And I said, well, you know, we would analyze that. So before we blew up anything, I realized that we needed a strategy. We needed to have better structure. And then we definitely had to change the culture because it was very siloed when I walked in, and the leadership was not interacting. I want to play a quick video that I shared with my staff and board.
The actual moonshot is wonderful, inspirational, poetic, beautiful, involved great technical challenges, genuine heroism. It brought the world together. But think about the Polynesian islander on the dugout canoe, deciding one day they were going to go that way. No one had ever been that way before. No one even knew if there was anything that way before. It was amazing, and it changed the world.
People can set their minds to magical, seemingly impossible ideas, and then through science and technology, bring them to reality. And that then sets other people on fire, that other things that look impossible might be accomplishable.
Galileo is such a hero, you know, in thinking big, and what he represents to me is both curiosity and wonder that humanity had, that pushed him and drove himself to invent and work on the first telescopes that allowed us to see the moon, and here we are.
These aviation pioneers were figuring it out as they went. No one really knew how to build an airplane, right? No one knew how to fly an airplane. It was amazing and crazy and wonderful, and they wanted to explore.
Many years ago, the great British explorer George Mallory, who was to die on Mount Everest, was asked why did he want to climb it. He said, because it is there.
There's so many challenges in the world, and you can feel daunted by that, you know, and sort of oppressed by that, or you kind of say, how might we think differently about this?
Everyone else in the world is working on the next 10%. If you can be the one that delivers that 10 times improvement, you have a chance to really change things.
So anyway, I wanted you to hear and watch a snippet of that, and I showed that at one of my first staff meetings, and people looked very confused around the room, and I asked, you know, what did you hear here? What did that mean? And so we've been at every staff meeting, every interaction, especially with my leadership team, really speaking about being an entrepreneur. Not everyone needs to start their own business, but you must be and bring an entrepreneurial flavor to your work within. So I would call it an entrepreneur. So structure. So we just approved a new strategic plan. Now all of you have probably speak a lot about those, and they put you to sleep, and you spend a lot of money and you create one, and it's ignored. And we said we will not ignore it. We will actually link it with everything we work on. So there was no alignment really when I started. So not only did we create charters for committees that we didn't ever have. Committees were run basically by whomever spoke the loudest on that committee in any year. We said, no, we've got to align our committees with what we're speaking about within our strategic plan. We also created an operational plan, which then spills into all of our employees' performance evaluations. They had never had performance evaluations. They had some and asked, like, you look nice at work, and high ratings on that. So we've really put a lot of these in place. But we made these changes incrementally, but what was important, because everyone was saying, yeah, I'm hearing a lot of stuff, you're having board meetings, you're having approvals, but when will we actually be there? And so it's important to bring your staff along on that ride. And I've been speaking about our journey and trying to make staff and board members, committee members, everyone who's active, really appreciate the journey as much as where we may end up. And I think some people are having fun, not everybody is, because I also speak a lot about change makes you feel ill at ease, but you've got to manage that. And then a lot of you probably know this chart. It's with employees and it's also with board members as well. I don't know if you can. So you have your 3 leaders there. You've got the ones who are kind of working and following, and then you'll always have those one who are ready to hop ship. So you have to manage that as well and try to engage them as much as possible. So some of the implementations that we've had, we've really ramped up our meetings. I have a picture of Scott Kelly up there just to illustrate that sometimes you have to spend a little more money and have high-end speakers to bring in more people and spruce it up. We had never had that. That picture over there is a picture of our North American Snow Conference. We had never had the actual equipment on the floor. And this has really brought in a lot more people because they were able to actually climb up on snow plows and experience all that as well, and that's worked out well. When my board members said, "Are you willing to blow stuff up?" Our government relations program in Washington was pretty dormant for about 9 years. In a year and a half, we have a great staff there. We're getting asked to be and speak up on a hill when anything is being spoken about infrastructure and public works. We're up on the hill speaking about it. And then also getting out in the community and really trying to meet your members. Normally I wouldn't have worn a suit, but it was up on Capitol Hill. I look at a place there, I know. But meeting public works directors around North America as well as their staff, and everyone has a great story to tell. And then when I started, our magazine looked really dated and old. No one else had a problem with it, but I said, let's get ahead of that. It's not where I want it yet, only there is an improvement of what it looks like in articles within. This was our IT structure. We call it spaghetti. And what I learned was that the people running it never said no. Anyone would walk in and say, you have to add more. This is what it looks like now. And then the issue of aging membership. We've started an emerging leader program and are really pushing that. And then what's happened? People are happier and more engaged now. The staff is as well, by and large. Better quality of staff work because everyone knows what the direction is. We've enhanced our educational programs, increased recognition, as I mentioned, on Capitol Hill, and then we're out there in the local areas, and we've increased membership. We're at new highs, and then also obviously non-dues revenue. So that is it. Right in. Thank you.